Dude, Brad.
What's up, Bert?
Dude, I watched Nightmare on Elm Street 3, The Dream Warriors, the other day. And, dude, I'm going to probably just very controversial here, but I think Nightmare on Elm Street 3 is better than the original.
No. It's good. It's a fine flick, but it's not better than the original. The original is freaking a staple in the industry. It's awesome stuff.
Okay, you know what? But before we can slash this thing out, I think we just need to go to sleep and just to really sleep on this idea, okay?
You want to talk about it in the morning?
Yeah, let's talk about it more. So let's just go to sleep.
All right, good plan. Good plan.
Man, that was a good sleep. Did you sleep okay?
Yeah, I'm a little groggy, but I feel okay overall.
Oh, man. So are you ready to slash it out?
Let's talk about it.
You are all my children now. This is God.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, we made a mistake.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the main event of the evening.
What's going on, guys and gals, and welcome to Good Reel Hunting, where we hunt for the good reels so you don't have to. It's your boy Brad. BrettMan's over there somewhere, and we have a very special guest here today, Jason Knight. Jason, how are you doing today?
I am doing well, man. Thanks for bringing me on the show. I was very excited to talk, or moderate, I guess, some Nightmare on Elm Street.
Yes, we are jacked to have you. So what we're doing today is Slash It Out 3, episode 3, and we are putting the original Nightmare on Elm Street 1984 classic up against Dream Warriors. Okay, I'm going to be defending the original movie. Brett's going to be defending Dream Warriors, the two favorites of the franchise. We're going to find out which one's best today in a good old school debate. So, are you guys jacked about it or what? Obviously, Jason Knight down here, he's going to be our moderator for the evening. He's come up with some questions. We don't know what they are. He's going to ask us. We're going to respond without any preparation whatsoever, and we're going to have a nice debate here today. So, you guys jacked or what?
Dude, I am so jacked. I am just so ready for this. I even brought my secret weapon to this fight. This bad boy right here, Dream Warriors.
Ooh.
Where
yeah,
really good.
It's good. It's good, but it's not the
yeah.
original.
That's right.
Man, we're at fighting words already. So
I have both of them,
say,
BrettMan. I have both of them. So.
Oh, there you go. So I say let's not waste any more time. I say let's slash it out.
Let's do it, Brett. Why don't you go ahead and whip us up that freaking tail of the tape so we can take a look at it?
That is a good idea. Let's go to our tail of the tape.
Oh,
so what are your first thoughts on this, fellas? Let's go with J-Man. What do you think about the tail of the tape?
Okay. Let's see. Well, if you look, look at those numbers.
Oh yeah, look at that money.
Audience is a bit, they like the original. It looks like as far as the audience goes. The $5 million budget for Dream Warriors grossed $44.8 million, but the other one grossed $25 at $1.8. So I think Dream Warriors was the box office cash cow for sure, because they were only 3 years apart, these films. So
which is amazing. Which I feel like both did a really good job. But of course, Dream Warriors is like what brought the Freddy Krueger to the iconic stage that he is at today.
I like this what this shows is they essentially almost tripled the budget here for the third one. Obviously, the second one was a little bit. People are mixed on the second one. I like it, but the third one comes back strong budget. They go all out here, and yeah, we'll kind of get into it. That's one reason why I like the feel of the original one more, is probably because of the low budget. It doesn't get too crazy with it. A little bit more creative. But we'll get in all of that. That's just the one thing that stands out.
Fair. And I'll just go ahead and quickly say, like, you see the Rotten Tomatoes score, the critics and the audience. But I feel like just recently, like Dream Warriors is getting like a lot more praise, and just kind of like get this, like, has more steam now. So I feel like we're going to have like a strong competition between Dream Warriors and the original. So I can't wait to get started.
Yeah, and don't mind you guys. I mean, look at this. The critics score of 72 for a third movie in a horror franchise is absolutely. I mean, it's almost unheard of.
Oh,
so
yeah, that's. Think about how many third movies out there are just absolutely, could I say, dog shit out of a horse's ass?
Yes, he's seen the video.
Jaws 3, dude.
Oh man, that's awesome. So,
all right.
Without further ado, and real quick, guys. If you have not seen the original Nightmare on Elm Street and Dream Warriors, we will be going into some spoilers. We would be shocked if you have not seen these two movies, but just in case, stop this video, go watch those two movies, and come right back here, because this could be a bloodbath.
That it's going to be. Going to be.
Absolutely.
Right.
So now, J-Man, you are now officially the boss of this video, so it is yours to control.
All right. First thing I'd like to know is I want to hear Brad's personal story on the original when he first watched it, and your personal story on Dream Warriors when you first watched it.
Okay.
So, like, your first time watching it, or that's how I usually start my reviews. I always go back to the personal story, because I think there's an emotional connection, which is nice, right?
Good question.
Right.
And it's funny you should ask. It's actually kind of interesting. So I grew up with freaking Freddy's Dead. Okay, not saying that I like the movie, but by the time around the time I was a kid is when that movie came out. So I watched that movie. I probably saw that movie first, and I saw it the most as a kid. And then I finally got my hands on the original Nightmare on Elm Street. I was young. I don't remember exactly when it was, but I was definitely less than 10 years old. Somewhere 6, 7, 8, 9, somewhere in there. Watched it. It scared me as a kid, big time. Definitely more so than Freddy's Dead. I remember this being the scary bunch, the scary film of the bunch, because I think I had Freddy's Dead, and then 4, and maybe 5 somewhere. I didn't see Dream Warriors or Part 2 until maybe close to when I was a teenager, maybe. Actually, I was probably in my mid to late teens by the time I saw this for the first time. So the first one I did get my hands on as a kid, and it freaked me out big time. Big time.
That's awesome. What about you, BrettMan?
With me, as probably most who are just familiar with this channel know, I had a late start on the horror genre. Brad was the one that brought me in with The Conjuring. Jerk. And which I love that movie, by the way. So, but after that, that's when then Brad showed me the big three. We watched Friday the 13th first, and then right after that, I bought all the Nightmare on Elm Street, because I just wanted to see what this Freddy Krueger is all about. After, like, the first time I've seen him was in Freddy versus Jason, which I knew a lot of people told me, like, no, that's not the, like, Freddy Krueger did a good job, but Freddy Krueger did a good job, and so you need to watch the originals, because the originals were just awesome. I'm like, okay. So I bought all of them. I watched them all, and then that's when we got to Dream Warriors. And I'm like, okay, this looks a little bit tacky, goofy, but this could be right up my alley. And then when I watched it, it still has that very creepy atmosphere. And just, it was so, like, it was still scary, but like, just Freddy Krueger just captivated me about like what he is truly all about. I feel like they perfected him. And so that's why I almost at one point had Dream Warriors over the original.
Yeah, I was at 87. I was 8, and it was my older brother's birthday. And The movie was awesome. It just blew me away. That's the first Freddy movie I saw was Dream Warriors.
Oh, nice.
So I do have a love for it, but
That's a good one to jump in on.
I honestly cannot tell you when I saw the original. I just know I saw it when I was pretty young. Probably 10, 9. And the movie still scares me. It still scares me. If I let me add this. This is something I say about the original movie a lot. Come down to your basement, or the J cave, as we like to call it. Around 1, 2 in the morning, lights off. Put that movie on, and just tell me how you feel after watching it.
Oh,
just imagine, music,
right?
Yeah,
music but Dream Warriors, I do love. Like, I guess it wasn't quite the MTV Freddy yet. That was 4. But it's bridging Scary 2 Freddy to the 4. This is the bridge where they started going, but it's also the perfect balance of Scary Freddy and Looney Tune Freddy. Number 3 is the perfect balance of this character.
Yeah. It really does balance the. Just to give you a little bit of credit over there, Bert. It does. The Freddy he's balanced nicely between comedic and horror, I think, in this movie.
Yeah, like where he's not too comedic. Like he's still like just using his humor, but in a very dark tone. Like, and it's perfect, man.
Like black comedy almost, you know?
Yeah, exactly. And I'll give credit to yours too, Brad. That Freddy Krueger, when I watched The Nightmare on Elm Street for the first time, absolutely just scared the shit out of me. It terrified me. I just felt super uneasy, and just the knives on like the pipes and all that, just chill bumps every single time. But again, just in this video, my Freddy Krueger is the best and most known Freddy Krueger throughout the entire franchise.
Yeah, they didn't know what they had with him, right, in the first movie.
Right.
They didn't know what they were getting into.
Absolutely not.
Right. And maybe even 2. Maybe even 2 they didn't know. But yeah, that's cool stories all around, man. Cool stories. Let me see what I'm gonna ask you guys now. Let's talk. Let's defend the acting here. The acting, not just from one character. The overall acting of each film.
Okay.
Who do you think has the better? Which better film has the better acting?
You want me to start? You want me to go first there, Bert?
Yeah, you can go first.
Well, I got to throw. So I'll defend the acting of the original classic. Okay, 1984. Okay. I thought that obviously you have John Saxon in this one. Okay, and he's a bigger role in this, where he's he's more or less a cameo in the third one, so he's very small in that. But this one, the first one, he's a major character, and he does a phenomenal job. Obviously, he's a great actor. Was a great actor. R.I.P. Fantastic actor. He did a great job. You could really buy what he was selling. But we also had Johnny Depp in this one too. Introduction role, Nancy's boyfriend, Glenn, and he did a good job too. I think he really helped build the character up of Nancy. You had some good moments between the two of them. So he was kind of integral there for Nancy to kind of grow her character. I know,
right?
Yeah, but yeah, I thought he did a really good job. It was a good first movie for him, and I mean Nancy too. I thought she did really well here. Her performance is I wouldn't say it's better than it was in Dream Warriors or anything, but I think it's on par. They're kind of similar. Heather Langenkamp, whatever. She did a good job, I think, overall. And then I like the Tina. I think whoever that was,
Amanda Weiss.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate that. She did a really good job too. I mean, she looked very at the beginning of the movie when she's having the nightmares and stuff, which were really well done, by the way, with the goats running around and Freddy kind of walking around off. You don't see his face yet, but he's kind of walking through the boiler and stuff like that.
Yeah.
She does a really good job of being scared. You can kind of feel her fear through that. I think she does. I think she does very well, and even the boyfriend. I mean, he's a little extra at times, but he does a pretty good job too.
Yeah,
the mom, hit or miss with the mom, but I think overall she's a good character, and she's got some good screen time. Once she turns into a drunk at the end, it's a little extra, but that's her character. She does.
Yeah.
She's probably my least favorite of the characters, but she's there.
I could go along with that with the mom. Although the boiler scene's really well when she tells Nancy the truth.
I do like that scene. She does very well there. That's her best scene in the movie.
Yeah.
So, for Dream Warriors, I would say for the most part the acting was good. Was it perfect? Absolutely not. But it was still good. I felt like each actor just brought just something different to the table. Like the children each have a different personality, and they all really meshed. So I'd give a lot of credit to the actors for bringing those characters to life. I thought Nancy, with her second movie within the Nightmare on Elm Street franchise, I thought she did a really good job. And the thing that I love the most, about Nancy in this third one, is just the continuing from the original, with the white hair and just her knowledge and her past experiences. So, great job by Heather. And then John Saxon, which rest in peace. As Brad said, he did have a cameo and he didn't do too much. But when he was on screen, John Saxon knew exactly what to do with his character, because he was playing the character of just kind of in denial, of everything that's happened. He's trying to forget the past and just move on. And then towards the end of the movie, he just gave up giving that one last hurrah, which for cameos, that's pretty rare for such a cameo character to have such a big role towards the end. But I feel like the best acting is when each kid was within the dream world, and just to see the fear in their eyes. And that's really hard to act out fear. And I thought they just did a terrific job with that. Definitely the acting was better in the dream world than in the regular world. So absolutely, Dream Warriors. What for a trilogy, for a third movie, the acting was really good.
I don't think there's a bad performance in Dream Warriors that I can think of, to be honest with you.
I don't either. I was going to give you some credit for. I mean, you had Max in there, dude. Freaking Lawrence Fishburne.
Yeah, Morpheus, man.
Especially the Patricia Arquette, her first movie, and she was also very pushed because they got so behind because all the special effects they had to do, and they were shooting to 4 a.m, and she kept forgetting her lines because they kept. And then the director he admitted it later. I think I pushed her a bit too much, and she did not have a good time on that set for her first movie. And but she was fantastic in it.
Oh yeah, she was a very relatable final. I would consider her the final girl in this movie, to be honest with you.
And the guy who plays Kincaid, when they say he says you're all your doors, Nurse Ratched, all your doors are gonna be locked. And then he gets up, he starts shaking, he goes, "Anybody fucks with me, gonna get the fucking ass kicked." That was good performance. I liked it.
Oh yeah. Kincaid was he was a humor character within Dream Warriors. When there's after a tense scene, they bring him on, just kind of lighten the mood a little bit with his humor.
He was probably my favorite of the movie, of the Dream Warriors. I mean. But my problem with Dream Warriors here, man, is there's not really a main. I mean, you could say Patricia Arquette. I mean, maybe Heather as well. But there's no main character really. It doesn't seem like there's no story that you're following throughout. I mean, it kind of you start with Patricia Arquette there at the beginning, and then once she gets into the hospital, it kind of just bounces back and forth a lot between Nancy and her.
I think it's in the title, Dream Warriors. I think they're a collective.
Yeah, I mean, it's
a collective.
Sure.
One unit. That's why number 4 pissed me off so much.
I agree.
Yeah,
they did a fucking Alien 3.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of that. that big. I mean, overall, I like Nightmare 4, but I don't agree with that decision they made there at the beginning. But yeah, I like to have a character you can follow through the story to kind of be your conduit through the story. When you start bouncing around, I thought it was good. I liked all the characters they put in there. I'll give you a little bit of credit there, but
and really it's like Nancy was kind of like what you were saying, like they were still trying to focus the movie on Nancy while also giving the other characters like little backstories on where they came from, so that you've got a reason to cheer for them as they go into the dream world later on in the movie.
Yeah.
And so, again, like Nancy was still the main focus, like as you were saying, like about main focus. Nancy was that main focus, kind of like being the role model for Kristen.
Well, I would have liked to see Kristen be more of a larger focus. I would have liked to kind of turn things toward, and then Nancy kind of comes in and becomes a, like a Dr. Loomis character for the franchise here. And then, because I thought Kristen was pretty good, man. Honestly, like,
It was great, and I like how they brought Nancy back to help these children because she knows what's going on from the start.
Yes, she does.
It's just her introduction to the movie was excellent too, as Kristen was like doing the chant, like the 1, 2, Freddy's coming for you. If then you hear 9, 10, never.
And she's just like, never sleep again.
Then never sleep again. Then you show an excellent shot at Nancy at that door. I'm like, oh, that's a great like introduction to the Nancy character for this new one.
This was a very ambitious movie, and it was, they had a lot of pieces going on, going to Freddy's backstory with the nun, the mother, too, with Dr. Neil
Amanda Kruger,
and Dr. Neil Gordon's a great character too, man. Like he's and like Nancy tells him, I need you to give me all the control and trust me what I'm trying to tell you here. And
and then just everything that you know of doesn't exist anymore. Like you have to promise me you will do that. And then Dr. Neil's like, I care about my patients so much that I am willing to trust Nancy, this outsider, to help solve this problem.
Now, in defense of Brad's movie, the original, there's not as many characters, so as an acting ensemble, it really is an unfair argument in a lot of ways because there's so many great characters in Warriors, where they get picked off pretty quickly in the original, and you just got Nancy and the father and the drunk mother, so it's a tough one. It's a tough one.
And props to Brad's movie, like those 4 characters, like the 4 children, you immediately like invest into their characters, and they do a great job on screen portraying those characters. So I do give Brad's movie credit on that.
You do, and I like the way it kind of starts out. I mean, at the beginning of the movie, you kind of think Tina is going to be the main character. For a second, you start off here in her dream. And then it kind of follows her storyline, and then the other characters introduced after that, and then obviously she gets destroyed there in the dream sequence, and then it kind of converts over to Nancy. And I think that's kind of a cool thing. While we're talking about acting, I really like the way that the original movie added in it's kind of an element. It doesn't really get touched on a lot after this. But in the first one, they really harp on the fact the issue of sleep deprivation. Throughout the movie, you can see Nancy. She's getting bags under her eyes, and she's starting to lose, And I thought that was really well done. And she's actually, as far as acting goes, she's acting like she's freaking half asleep most of the time. More than that, you could tell that she's been deprived of sleep. She's getting freaking baggier eyes the whole movie. She's got freaking a coffee maker under the bed and stuff. And I really like that about the original.
You're right, and that's good. And going back to Tina, what gives it away is the goat going across, because it's symbolism. It's the lamb being led to the slaughter. So you think about it.
And I'm glad you brought that up, because when I first watched Nightmare on Elm Street for the first time, I did not get what the goat was all about. And then when I watched your From Dusk Till Dawn, when you were explaining what the symbolism of that goat. I'm like, dude, that makes so much sense.
Well, also Wes Craven was he was like a Baptist minister, or he was involved in the Baptist church. So if you read the Bible, that's kind of what he's doing with that goat. It's kind of like Tina's the lamb being led to the slaughter.
Mm-hmm.
And so if you pick up on what he's like, directors just don't throw things in randomly just because it looks cool.
No. Especially Wes Craven, like he has a meaning for everything.
No, he has meaning for a lot of things. So, but yeah, it's cool stuff, man. Cool stuff. All right, what should we go into? Let's go into the plot and story. Like full 3 acts, the plot, the story. Brett, you start with Dream Warriors, which I think Dream Warriors has a very good plot and story.
Yeah,
and I think it's a better first, second, third act film too. As far as I like the ending of Dream Warriors.
Mm-hmm.
I like the way it ends. Whereas I think BrettMan knows my issues with the original. That fucking ending, man.
Yeah, just that damn ending, Brad. Like, what the hell, man?
Hey, this category is gonna go very well for me. It's gonna get heated here in a minute.
Here we go. But just like to start off with Dream Warriors, and we get that opening scene with Kristen, like where she's having the nightmare and seeing Freddy Krueger for the first time. Which what I loved about that opening, it was like when she wakes up from that nightmare, she's like, okay, it's over. And she goes to the bathroom, and then that handle grabs her, like that dream within a dream. That is such a creative idea, especially for the Nightmare on Elm Street franchise.
I don't know if that was done before.
Yeah, I don't think so. This was the first time that's happened.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I'd have to think about other movies that tried to do that. Yeah, you're right though. Where she thinks you think she's woken up.
She's good to go.
The first time I watched it, I thought that.
Or she was awake and she fell asleep at the sink. You know what I mean? She had that could have happened too. Who knows?
Oh, but man, it was just still fantastic. And plus, it immediately set the tone of what you can expect from this movie. Like right off the bat, it was still going to bring just the dark, creepy atmosphere. And then I absolutely loved the concept of the children being at that psychological hospital where the doctors think that they're crazy, but they're not crazy. It's just they're just getting so tormented by their dreams. So the doctors are dealing with something they don't understand. And I thought it was a fantastic concept.
So what's that? 1987? Ooh, that's I wonder if Tommy Jarvis ever went to that hospital. Took a visit in there. So no one can deal with this fucking little guy.
Dude, what if Tommy Jarvis was in that hospital?
This is actually what it is the prequel to you guys seen Santa Claus with Tim Allen?
Mm-hmm.
This is the prequel story for Dr. Neil, the new husband for Tim Allen's old wife, because they look alike and they're both psychiatrists, and I think this is kind of what led to the events of Santa Claus later on in life.
Oh my
Just
God.
FYI.
You would. But yeah, then we get more on, and then of course Nancy's getting brought in, like she's outside help to try to figure out what's going on with these kids, and she knew immediately what was going on. And then that's this whole second part of the movie is her trying to convince everybody that about the Freddy Krueger legacy, and just what the kids need to do to stop Freddy Krueger, which is to step up to him, to take away. To get back all the fear that the kids gave to Krueger, kind of like how Nancy did that in the original. And then we go to the awesome third act where each of the kids with their dream powers to fight Freddy Krueger. And I think, and that is awesome stuff, like the special effects, just the look of the characters, the look of the creative kills. That badass wheelchair when Will fought Freddy, that wheelchair was so awesome. I wish that was my director.
Yeah, the wheelchair was not so much that's where it tips the Avengers scale.
Yeah.
It's like we're watching comic book shit here, and now I've grown over the years. Just a little backstory that number 2, Freddy's Revenge, is sneaking up on the back door of Dream Warriors for me now. I've really grown like
it's like it's at my number 3 recently.
Right, and I love Dream Warriors, but the last couple of watches, I'm starting to see the going. Man, should have this bit darker. Kept it like the first act of Dream Warriors is very dark, actually.
Oh, so dark.
They're all hanging in the room. All the dead bodies are hanging, and Kristen's got the doll and all that. And you still don't see Freddy too much, but by the end of it, you're seeing him right in the daylight in the. And
not having that having that dark aura around.
The older I get, the more mature I get. Some of these movies do that to me, though.
Yeah.
Whereas two is very dark.
2 is very dark.
Dark story, man. It's man. I've talked with Destiny about this, saying, man, two's creeping up on my second favorite Freddy movie.
It is for me too.
I don't not quite there yet because I love Dream Warriors so much. I mean, but yeah, I just wanted to mention that.
Yeah, and you're right, though. Like the whole first half of Dream Warriors was dark movie. Shoot, even the first kill of the movie was just so brutal when Philip, Freddy slashes him in those veins. First off, amazing practical effects on that. Like the look of everything was awesome. And just to see him kind of like walking like that, and you're just like, God, he is in so much. Like, this is dark shit right here.
Yeah,
it's like toying with him.
And think about that. Think about the. Well, I'm probably going to ask you a question later on this, but just think about $5 million and all the effects they did in this film.
Mm-hmm.
It's impressive.
Yeah, the effects overall are pretty good. I think with the clay animation stuff, with Freddy and all that, it's kind of creepy and it works pretty well. So yeah, I'll give you that. But go on. I'm sorry, Brett.
Yeah, no, you're good. And then, of course, again, the third act, the children are the ones fighting back against Freddy Krueger. And then when Nancy thought it was over and she sees her dad, we thought, cool, we're going to get this happy ending. And then that's when Freddy just shocked everybody and just killed Nancy with his glove. And I did not see it coming the first time I watched it.
That's a plot issue for me. Or a character issue. Nancy would have never fallen for that fucking bullshit, in my opinion. So I'm sure if Brad's defending this movie, she's learned so much. Hi, Dad. I've crossed over, dear. She would have known it was Freddy. That's one thing that pissed me off.
Yeah, and she wouldn't have. As soon as the mirror thing's over, she's like, "Oh, it's all over now, ladies and gentlemen. Let's go back to life." There's more.
Good point. Yeah. I think they dumbed her down just a tiny bit, where I think she would have not fallen for that.
I don't think so either. I really don't. But Brett, I'm sorry again. I'm sorry. I get excited over here.
I'm over here, dude. There's just, I feel you. I feel your energy, man. And like Nancy should have not fallen for it. I do agree with that, but I feel like the reason they did do that is so for
Kristen, to get vengeance.
Yeah, like Kristen is like pissed off and like, no, my role model just got killed. I gotta take this son of a bitch down. So Nancy's sacrifice and like her death was kind of like a whole like trying to help build the Kristen character.
Yeah, and
then that's how just at the end is where the doctor spread the holy water and the ashes from Freddy's gravesite, and then that's when Freddy is gone. I feel like that made total sense in the story how to write off Freddy Krueger, and I thought that last act of the movie was great.
Yeah, well, that's what they wanted, and they wanted like when he pulls her hair down, and he's just like, die, and he's just like he's just gutting her like a fucking
stabbed her twice,
like this, and it's just good. It's good, but
you're just like in so much shock too. Like when it's like, oh crap, they actually killed one of the most popular final girls of all time.
Yeah, I don't mind Nancy dying. It's just the way she died. It's how, like I just said before. I don't think she would have fell for it. Maybe they just would have executed a different way of Freddy killing her. Because it is a good moment.
To have her fight. Like, I agree with that.
Or like a sacrificial moment, where she sacrifices herself to save the new kids.
Brad. Yeah, they should have done something like that because I just don't. It's out of her character, and when you start putting great characters and making them go out of character, that can be annoying.
Mm-hmm.
That can be annoying. Like I said, as a kid, I never thought about this stuff, but especially when you start reviewing movies and analyzing stuff a bit more, you're kind of looking at it from a different point of view.
From a certain point of
Barry
view.
White would be one. But no, that's pretty much all I have throughout the story. I just thought the storytelling in this movie was just like on the same level. Maybe even more, just because the ending was better than the original. So Dream Warriors can easily compete with the original in story.
All right, let's get into it. Let me go ahead and talk about Dream Warriors first. Okay. We'll dig into Dream Warriors, and then I'm going to revert back to the OG, and I'm going to tell you why it's better. But first off, Dream Warriors. Okay, at the beginning, we have this opening dream with Kristen, and she's like, okay. She falls asleep. She goes to Nancy's house. Why do you go to Nancy's house? Okay, because you could go to Glenn's house, you could go to Tina's house, you can go to anybody's house, but for some reason you go back to Nancy's house just because of fan service, okay? We go back there. I'm glad it's there, sort of, just because I like an iconic house being there. But at the same time, it doesn't make sense story-wise because obviously Freddy, he went there, he lost at that house. He didn't do very well there. I don't know why he likes it. I don't know why he brings all of his other friends there, but that's where he goes. Whatever. We'll get past that. Okay.
I think I got an answer for you on that, if you don't mind.
Well, go ahead.
Because Nancy was the one that got away and got the best of Freddy, and I think Freddy is just camping out at that house, and hopefully in one day that Nancy could return so he can extract his revenge.
It's Freddy's playhouse essentially.
Yeah, but he didn't do very well there. He did much better at Glenn's house. He did much better at Tina's house. He did very well at those houses last night.
Those fucking damn sledgehammers coming down.
Yeah, dude, he blew up there. He got caught on fire. He got sledgehammered. He did whatever he did at the end. And it was just.
Could it be that where he was pulled out of a dream for the first time?
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. I think the only reason that house is in there for fan service and nostalgia to bring people back to the original.
It's a good house too. It's iconic, right?
It is, yeah. It is an iconic house. It's one of the most iconic houses out there. But was there? Story-wise, when you talk story now, was there a reason to go back to it? I say no. But we'll move on. We get to okay. There's a cool part, and now I get it. It's an iconic part of the movie, but Freddy turns into a big ass worm randomly at one point in Dream Warriors. Which doesn't really fit with the Freddy from the first movie, because the first movie he's always kind of chasing his people. The actual version of Freddy is, and he's kind of he's just running around. Cool. The effects with the big ass worm Freddy was great, but why would you not always, if you can convert yourself to a worm or some big ass creature, why don't you always do that instead of being little ass Freddy? You can be big ass Freddy and you can up your success rate much more. I think you can.
Fred, like when Freddy, just the more fear he spreads across his victims, the more powerful he becomes. So he generates that ability to do that.
Well, I get he's got the ability to do it, but why does he not always do it? Why
because in the first one he had only 4 children to play with. In this movie, he had multiple children to play with.
Right, but why doesn't he
more fear? So he's more powerful.
But why doesn't he always do that? If he's that powerful to be a big ass worm,
probably wasn't as powerful in the first one as he was in Dream Warriors.
In this movie, why doesn't he always in Dream Warriors? Wasn't he always a big ass creature? Why is he just because
he's playing with his victims? He's toying with them.
Why don't you jump into something?
I think they were going to do that a lot more, but it would have been a $20 million movie. They said,
yeah.
They were going to do that a lot. They were going to have him as a snake around trees and like a Garden of Eden thing. They were going to have him like this. Cool. A moment that's pretty cool though is when he first sees Nancy and he's like, "You." But
I like it, but I think if Freddy was his normal self, it would have been a better meeting of the two.
now I won't take credit for this. I saw this on Two Dudes and Some Bullshit, where Tony Michael was talking about. He wished he would have saw Nancy and Freddy meet as human Freddy, though.
Yeah, exactly.
Like he comes out again, and he's like, "You," and he thinks it would have connected better. I think I'd have to agree with him because we
I agree with
penis
that.
Freddy, which is he's they had to put that thing all with green goo and everything because it looked too much like a penis. They said.
Oh yeah, when
and he's
imagine if they kept that in there, that would have hurt the movie.
You know what the creepiest part is though? Is that house when Kristen's just looking around and all the laugh plasters coming off and the lights just popping. That was cool. Before you even see the worm.
The settings were cool. I did like the settings, but it's just I mean, I get the budget constraints and things like that. That's fine. I get that. But just story-wise, when you're talking about the mythology of Freddy, story-wise now, if you're saying he's got the power to become a big-ass worm, I think he should use that stuff more often, story-wise, as opposed to, okay, I'm going to be little-ass Freddy most of the time. I'll turn into a worm once. I just don't know story. We're talking about plot here, okay? But then we get into later, okay, so obviously the second movie kind of messed with the rules of Freddy per se a little bit. This one continues to do that. Okay, in the first movie, anytime you get an injury from Freddy in your dreamland, it becomes a physical injury to you in the real world. Okay, which is cool. But once you get here into Dream Warriors, you see him slicing freaking Philip up and doing all this stuff with the veins. But he's walking down the hallway. He has no physical injuries. Plus, there's nobody in the hallway at the time, and they're all suicidal patients. But we won't get into that. So you see a lot of inconsistencies with Freddy here. So again, from the second one, that happens there, but we're not talking about that. The third one, there's more inconsistencies with Freddy here. And then like you get to Jennifer's death, which is cool, another iconic death. But who in the monkey blue hell would believe that this is a suicide when you have somebody freaking 10 feet up in the air with their head in a TV? Like, what your first freaking
I have that. I always found that too. I said, what'd she do? Go and jump and put her head inside? You know how hard that would be?
Yeah. I mean, the glass on those things is freaking thick. They killed freaking Stu from Scream with a TV like that. I mean, it's freaking thick ass glass, dude. You can't just jump into it on purpose. And yeah, go ahead.
Who gives a fuck what you think?
It was an awesome scene. Like, but all these things I'm saying again, we'll get in. I won't give it too much credit until after we're done with the debate. But I mean, it just doesn't make sense though, you know? Freaking suicide.
Critters on the TV, it was pretty cool.
The TV thing was badass. It was totally badass. It was one of the best scenes of the moment of the movie.
And that's what created the Freddy Krueger we know and love today.
It is, but let me finish bashing freaking Dream Warriors here, and then we'll get into how badass the OG is, okay? First off, the Dream Warrior scene is cheesy as hell, okay? When she's like, in my dreams, I'm beautiful. She's got the mohawk and all that stuff. Yeah, it's the cheesiest scene of the whole movie, for sure. It totally gets into the 80s cheese big time. And then I did not I don't know how you guys feel, and I don't know how most people feel. I actually don't know, but I didn't really like the backstory of Freddy with the bastard son of 100 maniacs. I didn't really like adding all that in there. I didn't think it was needed. I like Freddy to be a little bit more mysterious. I know we kind of get his generic backstory in the first one, but I thought that was good enough to be left alone and not add more to it. I didn't really like it.
Like, I sit on both sides with that. But it's the mood of that whole scene I like.
Mm-hmm.
I like the mood and atmosphere of the scene. That's where it actually starts feeling like the original movie.
Where they're kind of walking through the chapel
and you tell this story, and if you are going to tell a backstory in Freddy, I think that's at least it was dark and
it was very dark.
It follows the rules of Scream 3 about trilogies. Is you go to the back, you learn more from the past, which that's what Amanda Krueger was doing, was giving Freddy Krueger a backstory. So it followed the troll of what horror trilogies do.
Yeah, well, what Brad's doing, he's taking the Halloween effect. He thinks it works better. I go, oh my goodness, this guy is killing children. He lives in this neighborhood probably. He's probably inside his, like Robert Englund says, you can see Freddy's fantasizing while he's making this claw of what he's going to do to these little children. But why does he want to do this to his little? We don't know. And what Brad's saying is when we find out, his mother was raped by the most gruesome criminals. Okay, now, that's why he's like that, because he's got all of this. So I sit on both sides of that.
Yeah, I mean, I do like the scene itself on its own, but I just don't like the throwing all that in there. I think it's a little bit too crazy. But I mean, I don't know, but yeah, I mean, I'm mixed about it, but at this, I don't like it though. I'm that's one of my least favorite parts of Dream Warriors.
It's not needed. You think?
Yeah,
not needed.
I don't think it's needed. I definitely don't think it's needed. I think
but it was Freddy was set up to kill Freddy properly.
Was it?
Cross and the bear, because she told him to do it. So it's kind of.
I did like that stuff where she's telling him how to kill Freddy once and for all until his dog comes.
And it makes sense.
They do some Sam and Dean Winchester shit, man. Fucking
salt and burn him.
Burning the bones and.
Hey, Dean must have watched a lot of Dream Warriors, you know.
He did, dude. He did.
He's the man. He's the man.
All right, Brett. Let me finish this rip job here. Okay, so a couple of I like the bastard, the 100 maniacs didn't like that. I don't like how they towards the end they were like, okay, we can all dream together, can you though? But they all do, and they dream together. But then they all split up anyway, and they all go off on their own little journeys. I know that wasn't what they were trying to do, but they all get split up. I would have liked to see them all in one dream together. I think to kind of have a nice battle sequence with Freddy. They kind of do that a little bit when your boy is hanging there and in the coma, and there's like 3 of them there, I think. But I would have liked to see them all together in one dream, duking it out with Freddy. But they all get split up and they all die in their separate ways, which that was kind of a creative decision. And what in the hell was up with the freaking skeleton scene, dude? Where Freddy he's in the middle of a dreamland, freaking chasing Nancy, and he turns into the skeleton, freaking dukes it out with Neil. And then he goes back to freaking the dreamland. Like it just messes with Freddy's abilities a little bit too much, I think.
Dude, fucking Army of Darkness, man. Like, where do you think Army of Darkness got that from?
No, I don't mind the effects and stuff. I just the story wise here, I just don't know. He's fighting it out. He's having a good time. You didn't have to do that. You could have had them looking for the bones while they're battling it out in Dreamland, and maybe that builds suspense because they can't find them and they can't remember where the car's at.
Well,
but you don't have to.
Didn't he not just come into the real world there?
He did in the second one, yeah. He did in the second one.
No, I mean in the skeleton.
Oh yeah. The skeleton. That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
No, fuck, you're right. They broke the rules
again. Yeah, they broke a lot of rules. Yeah.
I'm sorry, Brett, man. I gotta go with Brad on this. That never dawned on me till now.
Yeah, that was my thing with it. It wasn't the effects of the skeleton. Like I get that stop motion. I actually think the effects were pretty good for the time.
You're right. You make it easy for Lieutenant Thompson and for Neil. Like you don't want it to be easy. You want them to earn.
Why, right?
To destroy Freddy.
It's a big ass freaking car museum demolition zone or whatever.
It's a dumpster garage, man.
You could have had them looking for the bones, not remembering where the bones are, looking past the wall, not seeing the wall, and going just for it's been many years since they buried Freddy. They could have. I mean, I think they could have just. I know they're trying to build suspense for the other guys because you got to kill Freddy in time so they don't die. But they could have had them freaking just running around trying to find the bone. You didn't have to bring Freddy into the real world and have a freaking Duke session with freaking LT and Dr. Neil. I don't know, but
make a point. Make a good point, man.
Let me talk a little bit about Nightmare on Elm Street, and we'll move on. I know I've kind of went on for some time, Brett, and I'll let you rebuttal this. Don't worry. You got to have some time in as well. But the reason I like Nightmare on Elm Street more is because it's a darker story. At the beginning of the movie, it's kind of a mystery. You don't know exactly what's going on. All these kids are having the same dream. You have really nice sequences with Freddy where you don't see his face until, I don't know, maybe about 30 minutes in, 25 minutes in, somewhere in there, 20 to 30 minutes. You have a nice little sequence there where, you see Freddy kind of in the dream, and the dreams are done very well too. They're not, in the third one, they get a little wild. You spend more time in the dream world in the third one than you do the first one. Whereas the first one is more, you kind of see the real life results of the dreams. You know what I mean? Like you see freaking Tina like on the ceiling and stuff, doing like freaking getting gutted, where you're not actually in the dream world with her at that point where she's actually getting gutted. You're seeing the real world version of that. Same thing with Nathan or whatever his name is in the jail cell. Not Nathan, I know. Rod in the jail cell. I thought all that stuff was, but I like the mystery aspect of it, and I like how they really they harp on the sleep deprivation thing and being afraid to go to sleep, and because sleep is unavoidable, and they really do a good job in this first one, really making that a big part of the storyline, I think. And she's going to sleep studies, and she's, like I said, with the bags under her eyes and things like that. But I think overall, and then how cool is it? Freddy kills Tina. He's smart in this one. He kills Tina, and then he blames Rod with the suicide. Like Rod gets arrested, and then he makes Rod look like he killed himself out of guilt. Like he's freaking genius in this. He's pulling strings here, man. It's dark stuff, man. I really love it. So and the kills are simple, and I like having Freddy being Freddy, his normal self, chasing people in the dreams and fighting it.
Right.
I like that too, and I think Freddy was done very well with the way he was lit and the way he was executed, and I think it was great. I'm sorry, Brett. You go ahead and rebuttal. I went on for some time. I'm sorry.
No, you're good, man. Like, you have every right, because your movie is just a damn classic and one of the most important movies, like, in the horror genre. Like, great stuff. So I don't blame you for talking that long. But you got to understand, too, my movie was just trying to be different, because the first two Nightmare on Elm Street movies had that dark, serious atmosphere. And if you keep doing the same thing more and more, eventually you're going to lose interest in the audience, and the audience is going to be like, "What? This franchise needs something different." So that's why we went like the whole we still brought some of the darkness to it, like at the beginning where Kristen was going through the house and you see the bodies like hanging from the ceiling, very dark stuff. But at the same time, you got to give the audience something a little different to intrigue them to watch your movie, and that's why we brought the more funner Freddy Krueger with his one-liners. Welcome to primetime, bitch. Tongue-tied. Let's get high. Hilarious stuff. While also him trying to being serious and badass while doing those one-liners. And so again, great respect to your movie, but you got to understand and respect Dream Warriors is that we tried to be different because we didn't have a choice, because there's no way our movie can live up to Nightmare on Elm Street for what it was and the impact it's brought. So that's why we had to go bold, we have to go different, and we had the budget to push out those creative juices to flow. And just Dream Warriors, massive respect for Dream Warriors.
They wanted to go fantastical.
Then that they did. They did that.
Yeah, and also, as you said, with the original Nightmare on Elm Street, they didn't know what they had in Freddy Krueger. And with Dream Warriors, created the Freddy Krueger that has made him an icon and has a lot of horror fans on their Mount Rushmores of the horror icons. And that was because of Dream Warriors.
That's definitely when, if I remember correctly as a kid, he was definitely pretty big after that movie. And they attached a music video to the end of the VHS tape of, where Freddy wakes up, he goes, what a nightmare. Yeah.
He became a freaking 80s legend at that point.
Yeah, it's they both have very good stories. Number one is, if you watch my top 10 horror films, 1, 2, or 3, depending on the day.
Mm-hmm.
It's one of my favorite horror. But Dream Warriors is in my top 10 too. In my top 10, both of these movies are in my top 10.
Yeah, it's like to me that Dream Warriors got right with like what Friday the 13th tried to do after Part 6.
Part 6,
like in a way.
Yeah, yeah, but I do think the dreams work better because at the end of the day, when we dream or have a nightmare, we don't have worms eating us, and we don't have all the fantastical stuff. It's like when she falls asleep at the school. That's more like a dream you'd have. You'd go down to the boiler room and you'd see a creepy guy, or and I think that's why Nightmare works so good, the original.
And you got Tina in the body bag out there too, which is creepy, man.
Oh, the creepiest. But Dream Warriors is
as preparing for this movie, dude. I've watched not the original like so many times, but I'm not sure what got me. But when I saw that whole hallway scene with Tina, it really hit me hard on that one. Like, damn, this is good shit.
Yeah, but Dream Warriors is definitely the more entertaining and fun film. If you wanted this popcorn fun film, but there's some creepy moments in it too. You know, I actually like when the tricycle comes in and it starts melting and popping and stuff. That's cool. But yeah,
and then of course, the last thing I'll say too is just my ending was better than the original, because unlike the original having like 3 different like did it not combine like 3 different endings to one massive ending?
Well, sometimes it's not about the ending, Bert. It's about the beginning.
Yeah. Yeah, the ending of this fucking film.
No, Brett.
You should have just panned to the girls skipping, and that's it.
Yeah, see, that's where I would end the movie immediately if I were in charge.
You're only talking a snippet. A snippet. I just like the way they in Dream Warriors, the way they killed him for good, and then there's just the light comes on. It's very subtle. And
like nothing forced, just a subtle thing. Like, hey, Freddy could come back for another movie.
That thing he did. It's just it's ambiguous, I guess.
Very ambiguous, yeah.
With that house and everything like that. I'd say Dream Warriors is the better ending, but the original. The first half of that film, like all the way up to the sleep clinic, and a little bit after that, some of the best horror ever put on screen.
Yeah, because it's more psychological. It's more it's playing more into the fear. Like Freddy's barely in the movie. At the end of the day, he's barely in there, and it plays more. It's about the fear. Yeah, it's about the fear of going to sleep, and like what's going to happen if you go to sleep. Like, and you can't avoid sleep. So it's very cool. I think it was written very well with that. I think I honestly would have liked to go a little bit farther into that. I think, but you're totally right about that.
Awesome. Oh, we done with plot and story. All right. Let's go to the kills. Now, Dream Warriors has a lot more kills, so it has a lot more to talk about. But I mean, Tina's kill, in my opinion, is the best kill ever in history of horror. So I even did a video on that. So
yeah, and hard to argue with that.
Yeah, I agree. Do you want me to go first this time?
Yeah, since you didn't have like a whole bunch of kills, so yeah, go ahead.
Okay, I'll knock it out real quick. So, what I like about Nightmare on Elm Street's kills is like I said earlier, the perspective you're seeing them from is the real world. You're not seeing it in the dream. You're not seeing what they're going through. It leaves a little bit more mystery in your mind about what's going on inside their dream that's leading to this, like what's actually happening to them. And I like that. That's why I think Tina's death is done very well. I think it would not have been nearly as well if you're actually seeing the kill in her perspective and Freddy's freaking clawing her and dragging her up the wall. I don't think it would have been as effective. I think it was much more effective the way they did it.
See him for a second in silhouette. He's like this under the sheets.
Yeah.
Great shot.
Yeah, it's so good. It's so good. And you're seeing, and Rod's there, and he's like, "What the hell is going on, dude?" She's freaking.
He's pulling the sheets off her, going, "Oh, I'm gonna wake her up." And he's like, "What the fuck?"
Yeah, what the hell? Like freaking Michael, Dr. Loomis in the remake. But anyway, yeah, I like that perspective, and the Rod kill, I think is one of the scariest kills of the movie. I think, and it's a very simple one where he's in the jail cell and you see the freaking the sheets kind of getting twisted up, and it's really slow and it's done very well. And he gets drugged over to the freaking jail cell and he gets hung up to make it look like a suicide. Again, you're seeing the real world version of this. You don't see, I mean, you do see Freddy at one point, but like Rod's like, "What's going on?" And then the other guys come in and they're like, "Oh man, it's a suicide." Now that's a suicide you can believe. It's not a TV. It's a hanging with the sheets in the jail cell, which is really cool. And right. Freaking Glenn, I will say I don't understand exactly what happened to him in the sheets, but again, we didn't see the dream world version of this kill. We saw what happened in real life, and that's what I think is cool. What the hell could have happened to him? We don't know. It's up to your own mind and your own imagination, which is it's very neat.
Well, they cut. He actually comes out of the hole again, and he's just drenched in blood, and he collapses. But
yeah,
I don't.
Oh yeah.
But to probably keep it more mysterious, I guess you conjure up in your own mind that Freddy just clawed him to absolute death, and I don't know if. I don't know what the whole. I think it was just Wes Craven wanted a good visual.
Yeah, I think so too. And the after part of that is the aftermath of that is fantastic. There's blood dripping through the ceiling. The corner's thrown up in the bathroom. Yeah. They're like, "Yo, you're not gonna need a freaking body bag. You're gonna need a freaking mop." Yeah. And it's cool, man. I like it. Whereas when you get into Dream Warriors, it's more you see it all in the dream perspective, which is a little bit different. But whatever, it's fun too. But yeah, I think that's pretty much it. The mom death at the end, I don't really know what happened there, but
do any of us?
What?
I said, did any of us know what the hell was going on with that death?
If anybody knows, it's the J-Man.
That was what's his name? Producer. Rob Shea wanted to make it look like they're going to do a sequel, so he needed a jump scare. He just wanted a cheap jump scare at the end, and Wes Craven says, "Please don't ruin my movie."
I knew that. I was just talking about like on the bed where she kind of melts away.
Oh, that.
Yeah.
It's kind of cool that where she turns his back on him, because Johnny Depp said earlier, right?
Yeah.
You ever heard about this? And you turn your back on fear or whatever like that, and that's cool. And he disappears. But the mother on the bed thing was kind of strange, because in Dream Warrior they don't they kind of retcon it by saying my mother died in her sleep.
Well, yeah, I thought that was just her saying, "Yeah, my mother died in her sleep," but it was via Freddy Krueger. Like she just didn't tell the full story. But I don't know. I honestly don't know. That wasn't explained very well. And then the jump scare.
Yeah, because Freddy broke his own rule on they broke the rule of Freddy Krueger because he got brought out of the dream world. So how in the world was he able to disappear from the bed just like that? Because again, he wasn't in the dream world where he can instantly disappear like that. He was brought to the real world. He was getting physically hurt.
I don't understand that either. That's one part. See, that's where the movie starts going. What's going on here?
Yeah, the ending is weird, man. And I shouldn't be saying this.
He comes out of the.
Yeah, I'm like, how the hell did he get in that bed and all that without being in the dream? If he was in the dream world, I would have totally understood all that.
When he wasn't in the dream world. When he was on top of her, I guess he burned her really.
Yeah, I guess that's what happened.
He was on fire.
He was on fire and he burned her, and
You could say from her point of view, he was too hot to be handled.
Yes.
I guess he burned too, and once she turned her back on there, he just ceases to exist at that point. Mythology 101.
Mythology.
And
Anyway, that's pretty much.
I think Wes Craven wanted to keep the audience going like, Nancy's been dreaming the whole movie. The whole thing was a dream.
See, that would have been an awesome idea.
Well, I think that's what he was leading to. That was up to you to decide, though.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And but yeah, that's what I mean. Like, if that ending gets cleaned up, you're probably talking the best horror film of all time.
Yeah, like that. I'm telling you, that ending for me, and I'll explain, like, because we'll do like a movie rating here, like towards the end of the episode. But like that last act in the original is what holds it back for me giving it a 5. Like the damn movie deserves a 5, but just that last like 5 minutes just really holds it back.
I agree.
So,
yeah, it's I agree. Like the first half of this movie.
So
like
good.
with the tub scene, the high school, the opening, but you know, it's all part of it though, because the more Nancy starts being less afraid, the more we start being less afraid of Freddy. Mm-hmm. So it's actually designed that way, which is true to the storytelling.
Mm-hmm.
So Wes, he crafted it that way, I think, on purpose.
Yeah.
Make sense?
I think so too. That makes sense to me.
Right. So am I next for kills?
Yeah, go ahead. Well, you got a lot to tackle here in this one.
You have awesome kills.
Yeah, man. Shoot, where to begin? There were so many creative kills in this movie. Like I could tell you 2 in particular, and like if you do like a top 5 like Nightmare on Elm Street like kill list, 2 maybe 3 of them can like instantly come from Dream Warriors. Like that's how good of a job Dream Warriors did with these kills. Like Philip's kill with like the whole like using his hobby for like puppets and like his veins coming out and controlling them like a puppet. Fantastic. And that's what I love about Freddy. Freddy uses like the hobbies and the fears of these children, like involving with their kills. Like you got Tyra and Steph. I loved Freddy just using her fear of like heroin, like because again she was a drug addict and she was recovering and she was doing a really good job. And then Freddy knew that he could break her and just to overdose her. That was just such a very cool death, in my opinion. And just again, it's just a shot of Freddy like doing this beautiful shot within the movie. And then of course, Brad's favorite kill out of the whole movie. Welcome to Prime Time, bitch, which that was totally improvised by Robert Englund. And did I say that right?
England, yeah.
You sure not Engle man?
Shut up. No, I used to call him Engel. But yeah, Robert Englund, just like bring that quote to the movie just made that scene better, which the original line was supposed to be like, this is your big break on TV. Like, great stuff. And again, Brad's favorite kill out of the movie, as you just learned throughout this episode. And yeah, some of the kills like towards the end weren't like the best, but again, like it just helped like give meaning to Lieutenant Thompson. And of course, again, Nancy dying that way was just a little traumatizing just because like we love the Nancy character so much.
Oh, yeah.
Just to see her get got like just in that manner and brutal too. Getting stabbed twice. That's hard to watch like as a horror fan, which I thought they did a good job with that kill.
Okay. I love Nancy so much.
Yeah, and the like just like for me, the weakest kill was Will, like with him being the wizard master and all that. Like all that was cool, but like I felt like they went a little far, but it was still okay. But like not as strong as like the Tina deaths and all that.
Kid, I don't believe fairy tales.
Yeah, but no. Other than that, like just many creative kills. Like again, they had the budget to pull off these kills, and I thought they were really done good.
Yeah.
Yeah, most of them were pretty good. The only one I didn't like was the wheelchair death because it was kind of lazy. But
yeah, they could have done a lot. I agree. They could have done a lot more with that wheelchair, like him being inside that wheelchair, like getting like just teared apart. I felt like that would have been better.
Yeah,
Regular stab.
Yeah, they could have done a lot, and for that, yeah. And we can't forget Hello Nurse, Boobalicious.
Oh my!
favorite part of the movie.
Damn right, favorite part. Hey, I got 2 reasons why that's my favorite part of the movie.
Oh!
You like my body, Joey?
And then Joey's like, yeah. I'm like, damn it.
I want to see Joey and Dead Fuck Jimbo competing for the same chicks.
Oh my god, that would be epic.
But yeah, the kills, they're fantastic in Dream Warriors for the most part. But the original are more iconic and more gut-wrenching, I would think. Whereas Warriors ones are cool. Although Philip's death is kind of gut-wrenching, actually, because they're all yelling, right? Trying to wake him up. Which adds weight because there's so much drama involved in it.
That's probably my favorite.
Yeah.
That and the TV one. But the reason I like the ones in the first one so much is because it really adds to the story and it adds to the fears they're trying to play about going to sleep and whatnot. And it because I like seeing it from the perspective of the real world, as I've said. But I like those because it really is a part of the, you know, it really adds to the fear, I think, creatively.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, then again, like just with my movie, like we just have to do more, like to stand out and try to be on the same level as Nightmare on Elm Street, and that's why we had to like go very creative with our kills in the movie. But no, I agree. Just that Tina death alone totally makes that movie.
It takes it in a very different direction. But overall, man, I mean, these are some of the best kills in all of horror, I think, and the Nightmare franchise as a whole.
Yeah, especially for a trilogy, really good stuff.
Yeah, for sure.
What do you guys think of the look of Freddy's between these two? The look, because the original there's no stripes. There's no stripes on his sleeves in the original. You watch.
Oh yeah, on the sleeves, yeah.
And number 3 has the stripes. But what do you think about his general? I think he's dirtier and everything in the first one. Mm-hmm. Like Sweater seems dirtier. He seems although the makeup is really good in the third movie. Like the look of him, it's really good. But the first one's a bit. I mean, like they were just the guy was. That was their first time ever doing it. So in the original's defense, it's iconic though still.
Right, and at least with my movie, we can actually see my Freddy, unlike Brad's. Like the Nightmare on Elm Street, we hardly saw him because he was just so covered in darkness, which I totally understand why, because again, he's a dark character, so you got to build a dark aura around him, especially.
That's why it worked, though.
Yeah, I was supposed to say,
why it worked. Yeah,
you just set me up perfectly, my friend.
That's why it worked, and also in Dream, and he doesn't do stuff like he does in, like when he's calling Tina, he's going, Tina.
Yeah.
And then he goes, Tina.
Yeah, but with Dream Warriors, though, like again, we gotta be different. So why not show off the star of the show, the reason you came to watch Dream Warriors? So that's why we had to brighten him up and great look too. Like just show more of the burn, like the textures of his face. I thought the makeup team did a really great job with this movie.
They did. It just depends what kind of Freddy you like. It depends if you like the mood and atmosphere more, or if you like seeing everything.
Yeah, I do like the Freddy in the first one way more, just because of the way he's used and because of the darkness and the way he's lit, and like when he's walking down the alley, dude, he's got the freaking long arms and you can't see anything, but you just see the silhouette. Oh my gosh! And then,
but the third one, when she's running, Kristen with the baby.
Yeah.
She gets stuck in the blood. You see Freddy just coming in shadow around the corner, and he's coming like this, and you still don't see him that much. So they were tapping in Like they showed
to the first one, yeah.
It was showing homage to the first one.
it was unfolding throughout the movie. You saw more and more.
Yeah, I like I just like I love that, dude. In the alleyway, and then the first dream where you kind of see him walking around in the boiler, but you just see his back kind of walk behind some pipes, and it's just it was so well. You're like, what is this guy going to look like? And then you finally get the close up, and he's creepy as hell, man. And then he misses. He drops his hat a lot in the first one too, I feel like, and he's he's running around like I think he still looks great in the first one. He's much scarier, I think, just the way he's used again with the darkness and everything. But I love the. I don't really know why he's always cutting his fingers off and stuff. I don't really get that. But aside from that, he's doing that. But I like the part where he gets his face, like she grabs his face and it comes off, and it's like a skeleton face there. That was kind of cool. I like that. But yeah, I do prefer the Freddy from the first one more so. And what about when he gets on fire, dude? And he's freaking walking through the basement. It's like it's a real fire. I mean, it's awesome, dude.
Yeah, but you can obviously tell there's a bodysuit, which again, that's not their fault because you don't really want to burn your damn actor.
Yeah, you still got a freaking dude walking around with a freaking big ass fire on him. I think it's pretty awesome.
But with the makeup person, this is according to Letterboxd when I was doing research of like just who did it. The person, like according to Letterboxd, was Screaming Mad George, and he was famous for Nightmare on Elm Street 4 and The Predator. So like you knew that it was going to be a great look if you get him involved with Freddy Krueger.
Yeah, The Predator's awesome.
Yeah, that's a good look.
They're both ugly looking motherfuckers.
You ugly motherfucker.
Oh yeah. So is that kills? You guys done slashing it out with kills?
We're done. We're done with kills. We're done with Freddy. I'm actually.
We can't talk about something else. We got to talk to music.
Oh, damn. I was hoping I could have gone away with this.
This is by a mile the original for me. If you want to know my thoughts.
I'm giving Brad the win on this particular topic.
And number two is freaking awesome too. But number three, I don't find it as memorable. The music as it's still got the same themes and everything in it though.
Yeah, but then you got that one song.
Yeah.
I like the Into the Fire one at the beginning too.
Into
the fire.
Score in the original is this top notch, man.
Yeah, I'm telling you, perfection in that original. Like I can't deny it.
It's creepy as hell, man.
It does it for sure.
It's creepy as hell, and I like the music they play too when Nancy and Freddy are duking it out in the real world, and it's like some freaking '80s Terminator music, similar to. It's just more upbeat and it's still dark and synth. There's heavy synth in it as well, kind of like freaking Ready or Not almost. Like they play some weird music or not Ready or Not. You're Next. It plays some crazy kind of '80s music. I mean, this kind of what it uses as inspiration, I think. But yeah, no. I mean, I love that original score, man. It's so good. It's up there almost with the Halloween score.
Mm-hmm.
It's
one day I wish my goal like for a final album is to own the original Nightmare on Elm Street soundtrack.
Oh God, I wish on vinyl.
Yeah, that's one. Oh yeah, I definitely want it on that, but just imagine the price on that thing.
Oh, it's so good.
It'd be awesome, dude.
And it's Charles Bernstein, so he did Cujo as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and Cujo did really good with their score and their sound to that movie as well. And it was my first watch, and I really
and also the way they played into the 1, 2, buckle my shoe instead, but they switched it to 1, 2,
Freddy's coming for you.
I sing that around my house when I was a kid. all the time.
Oh yeah, and just the tone that the girls say that line just immediately creeps you the hell out.
Yeah, exactly. And this the design of Freddy. So well, that's not really an argument because he's the same design essentially in all the movies. But the design of the red and green sweater, what's his name? Craven said red and green are not supposed to go together.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's supposed to be uncomfortable to look at. So that's why he chose that.
Oh, that's interesting.
What's this Christmas time?
Yeah. But
you okay, Brett? You okay there, Brett?
All good, man. All good.
Man, I think you guys slashed it out. I think you've touched on everything pretty much.
Yeah. I don't have any more notes left. I've crossed them all out.
And Glenn's death. That's bloody right there.
Yeah, it was. It was good, man. These are great ones to talk about, man, because they're both awesome. So we're calling it. No more questions. No more questions. All right. Everything else from here on out is off the record. Not against.
We both love the hell out of this movie. I think the original is just such a damn classic, and none of the other Nightmare on Elm Street movies can touch it. Dream Warriors for me comes the closest to touch it. Touches it, I would think just like with the Friends episode where they're creating that ultimate poking stick. I would say that's the closest that Dream Warriors comes to going against the original. But that original, such a damn classic.
Oh yeah,
I agree, man. I like them both a lot. It's probably my two favorites in the franchise, but I do like the second one a lot too. We were talking about earlier. But yeah, I think Dream Warriors is one of the ones I've watched the least amount of times. Honestly, it's between that and the second one, just because this is not what I had when I was growing up. But this last rewatch to prepare for this episode, I really enjoyed the heck out of it, man. I really did. I had a good time with it. Some of the best moments, the TV thing, the Worm Freddy, as much as it doesn't make sense. It's awesome. It's awesome stuff.
And it was a real pig. That pig was real in Dream Warriors.
Oh, at the beginning in the dream there?
They roasted a pig and they were underneath and they made it do that.
Oh, really?
That's crazy. Yeah, that was a cool. I love the opening dream.
See, how much, as much real as you can put onto the set makes the movie better.
It was so damn ambitious. They said this was a $20 million script when they first got it. They said, we can't do all this. And the glass, Freddy's grabbing them through the window, the glass.
Yeah.
So that was the first shot to do.
Seriously?
Because they didn't have CGI back then.
Yeah, I guess that's true. You have to get creative.
You look at it, and you just go, that was hard to do, but apparently it was. So
I would have liked to see their budget steer away from Skeleton Freddy and into some other cool stuff that they could have done in the dream world, but either way.
I immediately thought of Army of Darkness when I saw that skeleton come to life.
I did too.
It's the Argonauts thing.
Yeah.
Well, skeletons fighting each other.
Yeah, dude, it does, man. They're both a great time, man. You can't go wrong with either one of these movies. Not in the slightest. Not in the slightest.
So do y'all want to do movie ratings for both of these films real quick?
Yeah, I'll give you a rating for how I'm feeling right now.
Yeah, go right ahead.
For the first one, I have 4.5 for me, maybe a 4.75. The only reason it's not a 5 again is because of the ending. I think they really botched the ending, not just the inflatable doll through the door, but the whole thing is kind of weird. As soon as mom is on fire, and then some of that, just it's a little all over the place. And Dream Warriors is a 4. I'd give it probably a 4 for me. Maybe a 3.75, just because there are some inconsistencies there with the Freddy mythology and stuff. But overall, it's a blast of a time, man. Blast of a time.
Yeah, and for me, the original, easily a 4.5, easily a Yippee Ki Yay. for our movie rating system. In which all that, like, if you don't know like what those are in particular, they are in the description down below of our video for you, so you can follow along what those mean. But yeah, easily a Yippee Ki Yay. I just wish they changed those last 5 minutes, because that's the only thing that's holding it back from being a 5-star movie, which that movie deserves the golden reel, but I just can't do it because of those last damn 5 minutes. But for Dream Warriors, very fun movie within the franchise. And so if it's a dark, rainy day and you just want to brighten the mood and have some fun, get some hotly fresh popcorn, pop in Dream Warriors. You're going to have a great time with it, also while also still getting creeped out. So I give it a 4 out of 5. So that is one good old trip to the Tosche station to get some power converters.
Right, it is. Jason, what about you? I know you haven't done these reviews yet, so I don't know if you want to spoil it for everybody, but we haven't either, so I figured it could change by the time I do the reviews. And
all right. Okay, so I'm the same with you guys. I'd give the original probably a 4.5, which would be my high raise in your fist and yell. If people don't know that. And Dream Warriors would probably be a 4, so it'd be a low. It would be a normal raise your fist and yell. It's that good. Like a 3.5 for me is take it or leave it, and these movies aren't a take it or leave it. Not even close.
Yeah.
But,
no. Yeah.
But they're also not all killer, no filler. So,
fantastic.
Especially if you see other reviews of mine, like I think I gave Jaws a perfect score, and I gave Stand By Me a perfect score.
Oh, nice. Very well deserved.
Like Stand By Me really hit me hard this time when I watched it. It was like, I can't see anything wrong with this movie. So, I'm a generous.
Yeah, that's like our golden reel. It's like we can't point out one thing wrong with it.
But I'm a generous giver too, though.
Yeah, we are as well. What do you think?
Yeah.
Didn't you have Jason Takes Manhattan as one of your 5 stars as well? One of your perfect scores?
Dog shit from a horse's
mouth. No, that's Jason X, Brad. He gave Jason X a 5 out of 5.
That's right.
Oh, wait a minute. Sorry. I forgot the negative in there. It's like a negative.
My I gave those 50 Shades of Grey, or Grey, 50 Shades of Garbage.
Yeah,
which I love that name for the rating of 50 Shades of Garbage. That just could not explain that perfectly.
Yeah, I had a wink to 50 Shades.
Heck yeah, dude! You got to have that in there, dude.
What's the same
part?
I
mean, that's Brett. So one thing I was going to do real quick. Obviously, we're done slashing it out. We both like the movies very much. Brett actually likes the original more than the third one. I like the original more than the third one.
Not even close.
But we had to pick. Somebody had to defend the third one because these two go. They're heavily debated, and a lot of people. Dream Warriors is their favorite. So we had to. What we did is we had to flip a coin. Okay, that's what we did. So for our next Slash Out episode, I'm going to go ahead and flip the coin here as a part of the video, so people know who's choosing to be what in the next episode. Okay.
That's a good idea. Go right ahead. With that?
It's a standard coin, which you can't see at all because of reflection reasons. But there's a heads and there's a tails. It's a quarter. And Brett, what are you feeling, dude?
I always go tails in these situations.
All right, here we go. You ready?
Do it.
Okay, here we go. It is heads, dude. I get to pick the next one. I get to pick the freaking next one. All right.
As long as you're not giving me Jason Goes to Hell, I'll be okay.
Well, I don't know what we're going to do on the next one yet. But it's going to be a good time. Obviously, Jason, what do you have? If you guys don't know Jason Nike yet, obviously go check him out. We'll put his link down in the description so you guys can go find his channel. If you guys are here with us, you probably know who that is. We've worked with him many times thus far, and we'll continue to do so in the future. Great dude, great content. Go check his channel out. He just wrapped up a Friday the 13th.
Which is an amazing review series. Jason, you have done an excellent job with that.
And it's almost done. I'm doing.
He has one more. So stay tuned to his channel, and the best way to do that is to subscribe to his channel and ring that bell, ding, 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 so you know when his videos are online.
I'm editing right now the ranking video, and that's going to wrap everything up. And I did it with Destiny. She came on top,
awesome.
and it's over an hour long, folks. It's a long.
Nice. Hey, anything Friday the 13th, you have me for like a day if you want to. Like, I'm always going to be invested.
Count me in. I'm looking forward to your thoughts. I know what your number one's going to be. I'm looking forward to Destiny's thoughts on that. Do you have anything else coming out here soon that the people should know about?
I don't know when you guys are releasing this video, but the time of this
week,
the time of this recording, it's what is it? Wednesday night.
It is December the 9th.
So this Saturday on the 12th, Destiny and I are doing Strangers Pray at Night watch party.
That's going to be fun.
And the week after is Rocky 4 with you guys.
Can't wait for that, dude.
And I'd like to say, if you guys get this out before then, please come to Rocky 4 with these guys at the beginning, because I have a big announcement to make with Rocky 4, and you guys are going to see what I've been cooking up. You'll be the first to see it, so it's going to be a good time. So
anything that has your hands on it, you know I'm immediately going to be invested in. Yeah, exactly.
It's all I can say. It's gonna kick some serious fucking ass.
Can't wait to see what this is. Can't wait.
Yeah. So, Brett, you ready to wrap this up?
I am, dude.
Before I wrap it up, Jason, thank you so much for being a moderator for this intense Slash It Out. It was so much fun, and you did an incredible job on moderating it and throwing us out some very good questions.
Anytime, man. Anytime.
Yeah. Which we're going to easily bring you back from when we started to go in like more action, like shoot it out, slash it out. We're easily going to bring you back.
Oh, yeah. I fucking love that shit.
Most stuff. And obviously, just another general announcement is we're going to be doing these live here pretty soon. Maybe next month, probably won't be, but in February, they're going to start being live. We just wanted to make sure that we kind of figure the format out before we dig into it. So next time.
Yeah, so start thinking of some featured questions once we release the topics, because we're going to have our viewers be the ones that ask most of the questions. Like, the moderators will ask questions too, but we definitely want you all, the viewer, to ask the questions as well.
Oh, you're going to be doing Slash It Out live.
That's the plan.
Yeah, that's the plan.
Yeah, that's cool. That's cool. Yeah.
Eventually. Yeah, so there's going to be no editing. Like, our thoughts will be final. So there's no going back.
It's going to be fun. We'll get the chat involved. We can have freaking questions picked out from them, and it's going to be a good time, dude. We're going to get you guys in here. We want to know what you guys think, and you guys at the end can vote to see who wins the debate. But anyway, Brett, go ahead. I am sorry again. Why don't you take us home?
Dude, I don't want this to end, but eventually we'll have to go to sleep sometime. And gosh almighty, please let us have good dreams tonight. So, what did you all think about our Slash It Out 3 between the original Nightmare on Elm Street versus the Nightmare on Elm Street 3, The Dream Warriors? Which one do you like better? Which of us between me and Brad defended our movie the best? Let us know in that comment section over here. I didn't want to point at Jason. Don't leave it on Jason. Leave it down below and just let us know your thoughts, and let's just get that discussion rolling.
Right you are, and if you want to help us find the good reels, you can do so by finding us on Facebook, Instagram, Letterboxd, and, of course, newly, Twitter. And then we're also on Apple Podcast and Spotify as well for our longer episodes, i.e. Slash It Out. This one will be on Spotify, so you can listen on the go.
Absolutely. And, of course, for us, we are on that quest to 100 so we can hear our boy Matt Fauci rap. I desperately want it. I know J-Man really wants it. So let's make it happen. So hit that subscribe button, like our video, and of course, ring that bell. And since J-Man is here, I'll do that good old classic Apollo Creed. Ding, ding. And so you will know when our videos are up and loaded, and so you can enjoy our great content. And J-Man, where can they find you? I know we got some links down in the bottom right, but just to let them know, where can they find you?
Well, my YouTube channel is Jason Nike, and the boys here are going to put it below, but On Instagram, it's my name is Jason13. That's my Instagram. And my Facebook, not my personal Facebook, but I got one link for the channel called the Jason Nike Experience. And that's just at Jason Nike 1979. Easy to find. It's linked out right on my channel, right on the front. It's right there, called the Jason Nike Experience. So that's where I want you to come. That's where I want you to say, hey, could you review this for me? Could you talk about this? How you doing, Jason? Come talk to me. I get back to people right away. I reply to every comment as best I can. I'm always listening to what anyone has to say. So I got some good shit coming up next year for everyone. And like these guys here, I'm not just horror. You know, that's why I always say movies, music, and everything in between. Because there's a lot of everything in between.
Get that right.
So yeah, it's that's where you can find me, guys. So I'd love to see you guys in my chats and all that kind of stuff. It's fun stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. Please follow the J-Man. He does a great job on his channel. J-Man, if you're not too familiar with our channel, at the end we love to do the finger point of doom. So on the count of 3, we're going to point and just be sure not to stab anybody with that. 1, 2, 3. See you
Peace
guys
out.
later.
See you later, man.
Yeah, exactly. And Tyler's was just racially like just recovering from being a drug addict too, so it was real easy for Freddie to manipulate her and to bring her right back to where she was trying to get away from it. That's just how it did with Freddie.
Yeah, you're sounding strange, BrettMan. I don't know what's going on.
Yeah, was that? I thought that was just me.